This world. It's changed a lot since the last time we left it. Countless hours and thousands of blocks have led to the sprawling canvas before us. It's a land of freedom. A place where creativity can flourish. And the base at which our legendary island will be built. This was only the first hill we've had to climb. But now, it's time to conquer the mountain. You ready? Okay, so I just want to say I really tried, my gosh diddly darndest, to be normal. Okay, I was gonna do really cool, I was gonna do a cool intro, and then I was gonna start building and making building stuff, but instead, I ended up, this entire, I think, episode, unless I do something afterwards, I'm not sure is gonna purely just be redstone. Okay, like, I spent so much time talking about my designs and how I want to do them. So you're gonna get to see all of it and all the cinematic footage I took of me doing redstone. And I hope that you learned something, but I I apologize for my gosh, I just really wanted to be I just really wanted to be normal, man. I generally just want to be like chill, get the same vibes as the last episode, but no, I'm gonna be it's gonna be bad. It's literally just basic stuff too. It's not even it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We're gonna have a great time and it's gonna be great. And we're going uh do redstone. Yippee. Okay, so the basics of this is gonna be pretty straightforward. Right. The point of this little first puzzle here is just going to have the players having to find a few switches or pressure plates hidden around the island. And then once all of them are activated at the same time, then we will be able to open up the secret entrance into the next puzzle. So this is going to be using some pretty basic redstone topics, but I'm going to kind of walk through them just so that people have a decent understanding them before we dive right in. So we want to be using multiple places of input for our redstone, correct? But if we just do this with redstone dust, right, either one of these levers will be able to turn on our mechanisms, and that's not what we want to be happening here, right? We want them to both have to be on in order to do this. So we'll be using a topic called inversion to kind of make this happen the way we want it to. So when you power a redstone torch, or the block that's sitting on, it will turn it off. Right, you can see that it no longer passes power up to the lamp like it would normally. We can kind of use this idea in order to make this work. So we're going to make something called an AND gate. And you make that by sticking 2 torches on top of 3 blocks. And what you want to do is run some redstone lines into the blocks behind these 2 torches. And add a torch on the front there. Then we'll just add a little bit of redstone dust there for some output. So it's easier to see. Right, so this is the kind of first part of our structure. You can see if I turn on and off that block, it'll light the torches on and off. So we're going to be kind of using that concept in tandem with this line of redstone going in between them. So you can see that if either one of the torches are on or both of them are on, then that'll power the block that torch is on, keeping it turned off, right? So even if we shut off that torch, the output torch is still going to be off because of that line of redstone up top. But if we turn on both of them, turning off those torches, it will let our redstone signal pass through. And you can see this kind of visually as well. This is how we're going to combine input, right? And guarantee that both of our places of input need to be powered in order to have our thing open up. So, to make this have a bit more layers to it, literally, we're going to be adding another gate here. So this will let us have 3 things of input if we kind of mimic the same design here. Right, make sure we have that torch up top. So currently if we kind of look at it, it will only turn the end torch on if every single lever is powered on as well for our final output here. Those are a pretty important topic for what we're going to be doing. So let's kind of take a look at my idea for the final mechanism here. So what we kind of want to do here for this concept, right, I broke the AND gate up there just to illustrate this, is that we want our pistons to default to pushing, right, and covering up our kind of secret entrance into the bunker, correct? So you'll see that normally, though, we have to use kind of inversion to make this topic work, right? To kind of invert the input. So when we input a value, what'll happen once we kind of fix this middle part is that they will default to being turned on. This kind of shows how important the topic of inversion here is that this won't work as intended unless we make sure that we're doing the opposite of what we want here. So just kind of taking a look at the start of the mechanism here. We'll add in this torch here to kind of invert what happens and also make sure that we need multiple sources of input for this to be able to work right. So you can see that in our kind of final build, we'll just cover up all of this, right? And we'll probably be doing the uncovering mechanism a bit differently overall. Now this is just kind of the idea behind of what we want to be doing, right? And it's really good to have ideas fully fleshed out so we can get them to be working. So the final thing we're kind of maybe looking at is locking the circuit, right? So we're going to be using a redstone block to essentially make sure that our circuit stays on once we get the correct input. So keep in mind, pistons, they can only push blocks and not pull them back. So they're really good for basically being able to change a circuit or adjust kind of how it operates. So we're going to be using a pretty simple version of this, right? As kind of a basic replica of the final mechanism, right? So once we get all of our desired inputs, it'll push the block and complete our circuit. So we're going to be implementing all of these things onto the island real soon. We'll cut back there eventually, but hopefully it all works out just fine, and hopefully this made sense. Nice. So as you can see here, we have, not really, can't really see much, you can see it down here. We have our kind of two and logic gates going on here, as well as three different sources of input for each of them. So we'll kind of fill this in. What'll happen when each of them have input, or they have the right input, right? Our piston is going to push this block of redstone toward here, breaking our circuit, and we'll open up the closed piston gates here. So currently, for our inputs, we have a, where is it actually? There it is. We have a um, pressure plate here. I think we're gonna do pressure plate on this side as well, and then a button up here. So when you get all of those inputs at the same time, they will push that open. But I'm trying to make this accessible for single players. Well, so what I'm doing is giving them or having some eggs hidden somewhere, right? So they can kind of like get a chicken or something to stand on those pressure plates. The chicken will be able to get out of here, actually. So if they're able to kind of like get all the inputs going, see, enough to get our open. So you can see that even though the button has definitely turned off by now, right? You can't see. Chicken's hopped out, right? Our little gate here is going to stay open, okay? And we can pop down into the next level. And we got a lot of space here for what I want to do. Okay. So I think the biggest negatives with this design right now is that there isn't any for me to reset this other than doing it manually. You have to go get a block of redstone, place it back. All right, so maybe I'll make some sort of, turn this into some sort of, get some back here to have that happen if I hit a switch or something later. Right. As well as figuring out a good way to hide those eggs as well. I could put them in like one of, I had those in there. Put them in like the barrels or something. Right, get them like kind of spread out. There could be a hidden treasure somewhere, things like that. But I think for our next episode, we're gonna work on kind of rebuilding what we kind of broke with World Edit, kind of just piecing this kind of together. And as well, most of our challenges and stuff are going to be happening underground. Start terraforming this area and kind of making it more like an island, and also get rid of these chickens. They're kind of loud. My audio muted for that reason. That'll be, there we go. That will be all for this episode. It's going to be a bit of a shorter one because, once again, all I did was talk about redstone for a indeterminate amount of time. But hopefully that would be some action for some people. But we'll see you next time. Bye.